Hi everyone, this is Jess from the Rocanville Library, and today we're going to be making our own candles. So for this project, you will need some candles or some wax flakes, a wick, a skewer, a small jar to hold your candle in, an bigger jar or glass container to melt your wax in, a pot of water to melt the wax, some spices, and your decorations. In this project, you'll have to move a little bit fast because the wax will harden very quickly. So the first step you'll want to do is take your wicks and tape them or tie them to some bamboo skewers. Just like that. That will hold the wicks up and keep them from drowning in the wax later. If you're like me and just using old candles, you're going to want to cut them up into tiny pieces with this so the wax melts quicker. If you're only using one tiny jar, I would use maybe 2 of these size candles, but I'm making a double batch, so we're going to be using a bit more. Once you're finished chopping your wax, or if you have wax flakes, put them into your glass container. Make sure it's an old one so you don't have to worry about washing the wax all out later. If you're making a big batch, don't add too much of the wax, just add a little bit. Then you can keep adding as it gets hot and melts. Once that's all ready, you put it into your pot of water and let it boil. Now comes the hard part. We're going to want to keep an eye on our wax as it melts. If you ever need to touch the glass, make sure you wear a glove. It helps to melt the wax faster if you stir it with another skewer or with a utensil you're not too attached to. So once your wax is all melted, you're going to want to pull the pot off of the element. Just put it somewhere cool for now. At this point, we're going to add our spices, but if you have essential oils, those would be excellent to add too. Since we're heading into Christmas, I'm going to be using some pretty seasonal spices. For a small candle, I recommend using a half teaspoon of cinnamon and a 1/4 teaspoon each of nutmeg and cloves. Just add that to your melted wax and stir well. Now that you got your spices mixed into your wax, we're going to take that, make sure to use gloves, and pour that into our candle molds. Do it real slow.
Now for the fun part. We get to decorate the candles. If you want to add decorations on top, wait until the wax is a bit more solidified. That way it will stick on the top. But if you're adding decorations closer to the bottom or larger items, this is the time to do it while the wax is liquid. Here I'm going to be adding my cinnamon sticks, placing them just around the edges. That way they avoid touching the flames. You can add any kind of decorations you like and match them to the scent, or you can be as different as you want. This is where you truly get to be creative. And we'll be back in a few minutes to add more.
At about the 5-minute mark, the wax will solidify enough that you can add some stuff to the top without it sinking to the bottom. For this one with the cinnamon, we're going to add some cloves just to the top. Just sprinkle it around. There we go. So now it depends on how big your candle is, but it will take usually between an hour to maybe the full night for it to dry. So after an hour, my candles came out looking like this. The nice thing about this project is that you can get as creative as you'd like. So with this one, for instance, I trimmed them both with a little bit of ribbon and then put some cinnamon, cloves, and a dried orange peel in there. This guy I added some pine needle and a pine cone. You can also mix up the spices or essential oils you use to create different smells. It's a really fun project and can be great for Christmas gifts or for just yourself. For the final test, And that is making your own candle. Can't wait to see what you create. Enjoy!